we sort of met. Gray and black.
There's a bunch of puppets in the regional office. If the middle part was better, I'd say we used the puppets, but it wasn't that good.
I was really confused about, I mean, they were fables. I don't know if they were actually trying to,
I don't know. The Wolf and the Fox, I didn't care.
I mean, I just thought that fables and parables usually have morals to them, but I really couldn't quite pick anything out that made any sense. It was just all very confusing, and I just.
Yeah. Ryan.
Hi, I'm Joy. We always forget that.
We always forget who we are. Read volume 3 of Thousand Nights and a Night. Still going. What did you think?
I enjoyed. Let me see. Probably the last story the best.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling this one. It starts off with a castration, so I had high hopes, but then it just kind of went downhill from there. There was like the next story was the guy who was like in love with the girl, kept crying until he got what he wanted. Like it just was so annoying. And then they went to the parable fables thing that weren't very
They didn't
good.
quite work.
What I did like though was that so the king has finally made a presence, so it stopped doing the whole Shahrazad saw the dawn of the day thing. It was different because he requested stories about birds. He viciously killed the birds.
And he switched gears rather quickly too. He was listening to her story, and then all of a sudden he requested one about birds.
Multiple ones.
Just out of the blue.
Birds. She kept viciously killing the birds.
Also, what did you think about the fox and the wolf?
I wanted them to shut up. It just kept going on and on for like no reason. It felt like maybe I missed something. I don't know. I wasn't feeling it. Okay, so if he finally gets out of the hole, why would you go back to the hole and be like, haha, I'm out of the hole, and then go back into the hole? It was stupid.
Well, the fox felt sorry for the wolf, and then he was going to try to help him out, and then the wolf pulled him back into the hole.
He was out. He could have just left. I don't know. I wasn't feeling the little parable parts.
I didn't either. And they didn't even have a moral to them. Did you think that the story that continued from the second book with Zadawi, I think is her name, that ended abruptly?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like, it took up most of the second book, and then she was just suddenly killed off in the third book without any...
Or they finished the story from the second book to this one, which was like the castration story or whatever, and then the whiny boy story. And then, what was his name? Then the king, the brother, was like, oh, the war's over. It's like, what? This thing. Yeah, that ended abruptly. And then it was like the happy ending thing. Where like,
well, they finally got the revenge they wanted.
But even Burton was talking about how, like, in the little footnote, like, everything just came together. It's very, like...
It was too tidy?
But he said it was just... Or he described it some sort of way. I need to stop drinking so much caffeine before these things.
Okay, I help myself too. I have an eyeball.
And this one wasn't as funny, except for the one story about the man who ate the hashish.
Yes, I had a good laugh over that one as well.
Hard to describe. Ends up being very naked and very excited.
He thought he was dreaming. And then, who was it that came to wake him?
It was all the townspeople, because
Okay.
he thought he was in a spa, but he was in the fountain in the middle of the courtyard in town. And then that was the end of the story. It was very
Well,
weird.
didn't you find it funny
I did.
that he mentioned that they woke him up at the wrong time because in his dream or hallucination, it was getting to a good part, I guess.
He said he was excited about that part. I don't know how to...
What did he call it?
It's...
Yeah.
Oh, the one about the two friends, and they go meet the girl, and they pass the notes back and forth, and then the one friend just disappears, and then suddenly there's a jeweler.
Yes, the jeweler takes over.
But like just randomly, and then they get taken by thieves. This one was dumb. I didn't feel in this one.
Yeah, I didn't. I thought that one was odd because they saw the princess and what was his name? Think of it.
The Bakar, or the other guy.
Is that it? Yes. Ali bin Bakar, right?
Ali bin Bakar.
He fell in love with Princess. Oh my gosh, there were so many characters in this one. Do you remember her name?
Shams al-Nahar.
Yes, her.
I'm cheating, it's right.
So they fall in love, but she's like the favorite of the caliphate.
Yeah.
And so they had to keep their romance a secret. And then the jeweler was the one who started to be their messenger, I guess.
The shop owner
he left town.
He just left. And then
he left for Basra, I think.
Yeah, but he didn't really say why. He just did it. He just left.
I always kept thinking that he was going to come back, but he never did.
And it's just like 100 pages of them passing notes back and forth. Like
then they both end up dying. I mean, I guess out of heartbreak. I mean, I don't know.
This one was a struggle for me.
Yeah.
Except for the last story. I liked that one a little bit more because suddenly there was like demons involved. Demons who praised God, which I thought was funny. But yeah, so that one, demon is in love with a person. I find out who the pharaohs sleep and they wake up. Anyway, so the lady, they go on this other adventure. They finally meet, but they think that she's a man. He's crying because she as a man is being like, no. Poem involving the shape, a man shape. Anyway, but because the princess kept the secret, that they decide to become sister wives for the man, and they each have a son. And this is where old Sir Francis Burton was like, the story should have ended. The women have the sons, and they each have a kid, and each woman falls in love with the other son. They send them a note, but the boys won't have it. So the husband now thinks that the sons are trying to sleep with his wives when it's the other way around, and then they go off on this adventure, and that's where it kind of, it's very convoluted.
Book 3 is very, very
it was a struggle.
Weird.
Book 3 was a struggle. On to book 4 of 10. So.
Oh, bonus.
We did read Beartown, which...
What did you think about it?
I thought it was fantastic.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't see the middle coming. I had no idea what it was about.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a shock. And then now knowing that for the rest of the book, like, I've never been so frustrated, but enjoyed the fact that I was angry at a book, like how he like toyed with me.
Yeah.
And
so the very first sentence threw me for a loop.
Yeah.
This wasn't what I was expecting, although I don't know what I was expecting from the book. It explores a lot of dark themes that I wasn't expecting.
I just really like Benji or Ahmad. Like I really like these characters. Or the bartender, like the dad, like all the characters were so well done. Like it was.
Yeah, they were well developed. I thought so too. Well, I mean, just the first sentence of the book.
You say the first sentence.
Read through the book expecting, him to build up to the climax, I guess, where what he stated in the first sentence would happen. But then again, of course, you just always assume that somebody killed somebody.
Yeah, I like how he ends the chapters. Like he makes everything so happy, and then it's always this but. I really enjoyed it.
And it's about hockey, and I still liked it.
But reading
it was well done.
This one,
while
listening to this one, was an experience.
You had a double dose of
Yeah, this one was about a community, and this one was about strangers, and they both touched on at certain parts similar things, and it was just like a 1-2 punch of like, we're gonna make you think.
Didn't he incorporate live
Yeah, so
footage, I guess?
So what he did is, if he had like actual audio recordings of things, he would use that instead of just reading a transcript, which was really. I've noticed I say neat a lot in these things. I'm trying not to say neat. It was neat. It was really neat.
What did I do?
I just every time I hold something up, I'm like, this is neat.
So are you likely to read the sequel to Beartown?
Yes. Yeah, this one was. It was heavy.
It was. I think he did a very good job of developing the characters and the plot.
Yes.
I thought I knew what was going to happen, so he kept me in suspense. But then again, it turned out completely different from what I expected. I don't know if you felt the same way, but I found myself just hating the town mentality. I mean, it's.
But it needed that for the story.
Do you think so?
Mm-hmm. Especially like this one, which is such a community, and this one, which was such about like strangers, because it's called Talking to Strangers. Just to see the juxtaposition of these two ideas told in different ways, but the same like undercurrents or overcurrents or
Whatever.
themes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It was neat. See, you read a book about dogs, as did I.
Did you really? Oh my gosh. So I reread this one because I love The Friend by Sigrid Nunez. I read it earlier in the year, and then I picked it up again just because I just think it's such a well-written book. It's fiction. The narrator takes in a friend's dog after he's committed suicide.
Okay.
So it's also like a meditation on loss, and the author incorporates just these different neat facts into a book that is fiction, and I just loved it.
You know those random books you have on your bookshelf, and you're like, why do I have that?
Yes.
That's why I could chew on this. I can chew on this and other poems by dogs, but it's not very good. Like, I mean, you
the
gotta.
pictures are so adorable.
I mean, you gotta know what you're expecting, but like, it was fluffy Hallmark nonsense.
Speaking of Hallmark, so one of our book clubs at this library read A Redbird Christmas. You know, it's a heartwarming story, but it's also very Hallmark-esque. I enjoyed it, but I mean, like some stories in the Arabian Nights, things were ended, I guess, a little too tidily.
Yeah.
I mean, but then again, that's the mark of a Hallmark film or book.
Convenient. Everything was convenient.
Yeah.
But is it funny? People.
It wasn't funny. Well, this is my first Fannie Flagg book that I've read, although I've watched Fried Green
I was
Tomatoes,
gonna say I will admit,
which I enjoyed.
It's one of my favorite movies. Why I like Fried Green Tomatoes so much.
No, I liked it too. I thought it was a good movie. I just haven't read the book. But that one was, I mean, it wasn't fluffy. It was just...
Sentimental?
I don't know. It was just too, you know, like... Just, I mean, you know, at first things go wrong and everything just miraculously falls into place and, you know, ends
Christmas.
Ends happily, except for the bird. I mean, their special bird dies, but, you know, that's...
If you've been following along, then you're probably not surprised. What's different about this series is that it's told in third person, so you get other characters. So each, like every couple of chapters, it's a different character. Mm-hmm. Whereas the Percy Jackson series is all first person. I think that's why I like these a little bit more. And the characters are kind of neat. I never know where he's going. I feel like I should, but...
So you're not Percy Jackson out yet?
Not quite yet.
So each book is about a new adventure? I mean, I just can't imagine how...
Yeah, there's like one giant adventure, but they have to go on different, like, small adventures for the next thing, so that way they can publish the next book, and so they can keep going forever and ever and ever.
Oh. Well, of course, you have to read them all now.
I do.
Oh, and of course, it's not complete without your graphic
This
novel.
is my random manga of the month, which was Attack on Titan. Actually, this one started off, I'm like, okay, I'm just kind of going through it, and then it gets to the end, and it was definitely a WTF moment. And it went from a 3.5 to a 5, like that.
Really?
Yeah. I haven't started the second one though, so I don't know where they go from here, but something happens and I'm like, yeah.
Okay.
So a little story though. It's almost post-apocalyptic in a way, where these giants, everyone's in this town and they have big walls, so the giants can't get through, and the giants start getting through.
So do you lead a manga book club?
Mhm.
Where?
Here, the
Really?
Anna Monday thing.
Oh, that's what that is.
Yeah. They were doing the My Hero Academia for months. Did that one for a long time, and then they mentioned this one, so kind of switching it up,
Okay.
episodes or whatever they want to do.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. It's teens. Sometimes they come, sometimes they don't.
Okay, so we didn't forget to introduce ourselves next time. I mean, this time. Do you think we covered everything? And I like the coffee and break.